Welcome to the Journeyman Cave, a podcast where we meet and chat with some of boxing's most seasoned road warriors, hosted by Mark Shakespeare and Chris Scarfe.
Welcome back to the Journeyman Cave, everybody. Episode 55. It's taken us a while to get here, but with me, as always, Mr. Mark Shakespeare. It's been a while, mate.
Yeah, it has been, mate, but I think we needed that break. I mean, we've been delivering an episode for 2 weeks, haven't we? And it just got too much for us in the end, didn't it?
It were enforced in some ways. I mean, we've done well to keep up that schedule that we have, and then I think it was just a step too far this summer. Mostly my doing, because I had a lot on, and then the odd time I didn't, you were obviously away or whatever, and we just sort of went, let's just leave it. Let's get summer out of the way, and we'll crack back on, which is what we're doing. We
have, and we've got some good guests lined up, mate.
Yes, well, that's your job, and you do a good job with it as well. So who have we got first then? After our enforced sabbatical, who we got?
I think it's only fair you pronounce his name.
Done it again. So we've always been under bus during an episode, and he's doing it again. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it an attempt, and I am really sorry if I get it wrong, Cash. So Kasra Zoughalian, something like that. I'm really sorry. He did tell us in episode. So.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll forgive us for that, mate.
Iranian born.
Yeah, really nice guy as well.
Yeah.
I got in contact with him after I watched his last fight he won in June. I kind of liked his style, and I liked what people were saying about him, and you could tell he was very level-headed, and obviously we had a drink. Obviously he's only had 3 fights, and he said he'd like to come on. And I says, yeah, let's go for it, mate. It's a really good interview, to be honest.
Yeah, like you said, 3 fights, and you think, well, not got a lot to talk about, but I thought it went well. And he's interesting to hear about them fights as well, particularly some of the people he got put in with, with their records.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, if you had his 3 opponents up, I think they're like 22-0 or something like that. Like he said when he went in, and he talks about in the episode about being knocked out in his second fight. The guy was 12-0 at the time, so it's all a learning curve for him. But like I said, he's 21-year-old, and he's got his head screwed on.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's got a big future ahead of him.
Yeah, he's not rushing, is he? Well, he's got years ahead of him if he does it right, so no point wading in unnecessarily. We'll be keeping an eye on him.
Most certainly will, and like I said, I did promise him that after his break, he'd be the first in line for the interview, and we've honoured that as well. Yeah. And I think it's a good way to come back in.
It is. And he works at a pub in Wakefield, where I played about 14 years ago.
What's that then, mate?
The Hop. Look at that, free promo for a boozer in Wakefield. So if we ever go in Wake, we'll have to go and see him.
I think he owes a free pint in the Hop, doesn't he now?
I wouldn't send out to a freebie.
Oh, never.
But just before we crack on, though, because it has been a while, what we've been up to anyway. I believe you went to a show a few weeks back?
Yeah, I took my better half, didn't I, Dawn, to the Callum Simpson fight at Oakwell, which were amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't make that one, so you took Dawn.
Yeah, and she really enjoyed it.
Good.
She had a couple of sherbets and all. It's not like our lass,
She deserves them.
Yeah, she does. Put it with me, she deserved them. A few said that, to be honest. But no, it was a great night for our town. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Callum got the job done like we knew he would do. A cracking fight with Joe Laws as well on the undercard, which was absolute peach.
That was all over internet.
With McKenna. I mean, a bit of beef there. And yeah, it was a very successful day for our town.
It looked good. Obviously, I weren't there, like I say. Didn't Dale Roy Arrowsmith on the card?
He did. I met Dale. That's one of the reasons I actually went, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Obviously for Callum as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, Dale got stopped in the second round that night. But I just talked to him after. Not many stopped Dale, and we met up after the fight, and he said he was just too big for me, Mark. So, it's one of them.
So Dale's no mug, is he?
No, not many stopped Dale. He's a legend, isn't he? And when he come out, he just said to me, he was just too big for me, Mark. But, it happens, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Even the best get stopped. But it was great to see him as well. It's always a pleasure to see Dale and speak to him.
It was funny because that night, what were I doing?
You were some beer festival, weren't you?
Some sort, I can't remember. Anyway, I was at some sort of music event. And I just remember my phone pinging that evening. You must have had, 7 or 8 photos with different people that you bumped into.
Yeah, and actually, I thought was quite good as well. A couple of them come up to me.
Yeah? Were you recognised?
Yeah, not in that way. I just think they always recognise an idiot in VIP, don't they? To be honest, I mean, I stuck out like a sewer fun, wasn't I?
Oh, you went VIP?
Yeah, met some great guys and some great girls that night.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of them, a little hint there, there'll be a few future guests.
Yeah, I didn't want to name drop then, just in case. I don't want to give anything away just yet. But
well, 1 or 2 were just virtually barred the sense that they're in. They've already said, I'm coming.
Yeah,
so
it's just getting them in. And I think actually, we've said, haven't we? We've talked about it. We've kept that schedule up fortnightly and sometimes extra on top of that. And I think what we will do in future is we will record in batches and release in batches, and we'll have breaks between. I mean, nobody's complained about this break. I'm sure we've not even been noticed.
I'm sure at least one person's missed us.
Somebody might
Come
have
on,
missed
someone's got to comment and say they've missed us.
If you've missed us, let us know in the comments.
Oh,
But,
I mean, it's a meat world, that, mate.
it would. So, yeah, I think that's how we're going to do it, and just going ahead. Just life, innit, mate? It seems to get busier and busier. It's autumn now, so we'll crack on. We'll get a few more done.
Yeah, and I'd like to say as well, thank you to the fans as well, because even though we haven't been recording, I've noticed the social media numbers have still been going up. We've still been getting plenty of likes, and I'd just like to thank them all for sticking by us, and we'll try our best to deliver some more podcasts.
Absolutely. And I'm trying to think where we are in this sort of batch.
I think we're number 4 or 5 in.
Yeah, something like that. So there'll be a few more to add to this one. There might be a little break, and then hopefully we'll, like I say, 7 or 8 at a time we'll release. And
my aim is to try and get a few out for Christmas for everybody.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So when it's nice and cold, I've got something to listen to.
It's just them summer months, mate, for me. It's obviously it's peak music season, and I'm most weekends I'm doing something somewhere. I'm not complaining. I enjoy it, obviously, but it somewhat limits me to my extracurricular activities.
I'm sure everyone understands, mate.
Yeah.
It's great. Anyway, it's great to be back.
It is, and it's good to see you again, mate. So let's crack on with episode 55 and Kasra Zoughalian. We'll see.
Great effort.
If I got that right or not. So thanks for joining us.
Come on then, Chris. Who have we got today?
We've got Kasra Zoughalian.
No, it's not.
No.
That's not. He's not done it right, has he?
No.
That's the start.
Come on, let's correct him.
Kasra Zoughalian.
Right,
Kasra Zoughalian. Right, because usually me has to get it wrong all the time.
Yeah.
And he don't
He likes to
that.
throw me under the bus when he gets a chance, doesn't he?
Well, I don't get many chances, to be quite honest, mate. So, but anyway, it's great to be back. And like I said, we had a little break, and we did promise we'd get you on first, mate, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I'm man of my word, and it's great to see you. And like Chris just says, us and trains just don't mix. It's been mentioned a few times, hasn't it?
I mean, us and travel in general.
Yeah.
We've had some scrapes, haven't we? But
Well, you know what? Today's been sunny. Trains have been like every 20 minutes. So even if I missed the one that I got, I could have got one after that.
Well, to be fair, mate, I mean, he nearly bet me. I virtually just walked in sweating, and then train pulled in.
Yeah.
So I thought I better do a few breaths, making sure I'm fit. I don't think it worked though, mate.
Yeah.
We went for a nice coffee beforehand, didn't we, mate?
Yeah, all right.
So anyway, mate, how's things going?
Things are going good. Just going to go back to uni in September, 23rd of September, I think. Been working, yeah.
what are you studying at uni?
Sports and exercise science.
All right.
Yeah. Coming to my final year, hopefully get a good job after that or go into postgraduate, masters or something. Yeah.
So what job would that be then? What would you be looking for? What would be your perfect job, mate? When you finish it, you get a job.
Don't know. There's a couple of things like I'd like to do. Like I wouldn't mind like getting started into like it's performance analysis.
Yeah.
But that's kinda hard. Like it's similar to the market's like at the time. Sports coaching. Really I like my strength and conditioning, like gym work, but that's stupidly flooded. Like you'd be on like $9,000 a year for like couple good 3-4 years before you start making some good money. You have to get your name out there. It's like with anything, you have to like be someone to get a bit of money. But yeah.
Well, wish you all the best for that, mate. Anyway, like I said, but we're only 21, aren't we? And we've got a little baby coming out with as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Have you got a boy? Do we know if it's a boy or a girl? Are we waiting or?
Yeah, my girlfriend did a gender reveal for me. It's a boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations on that, mate.
Thank you.
So
Definitely.
Let's go back to the start then, mate. I mean, I'm quite interested with this because we've had a few internationals on this show, but
Yeah.
you're probably the farthest we've had, haven't we, Scarfe, here? All the way from Iran you were born then, mate. So
Yeah.
come on, fill us in. You been brought up in Iran or were you born there and come over? Or
I was born there, came over when I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
Just my parents wanting best for us. Because, like, even if we became someone there, it was like, you wouldn't make it nowhere. Still a struggle. If you get what I mean, I'm not sure if that made too much sense, but yeah, if you do something well here, it's actually worth it.
Yeah.
You know, if you graduate from university, if you like get a good job, it's actually worth it. But back home, like 5 people have to work just to like make a living, have meat every day. Like
I see.
little things that we don't like appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So more options and,
Exactly.
and what have you.
Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yes.
So what about boxing though? Is that is that a big thing? Would you be able to do it over there as to a similar?
Iran, boxing is good in Iran, but it's not the biggest like sport. Wrestling's probably more popular in Iran, and the like where I'm from as well, in like northern area, it's like a very big community, like wrestling community and like boxing. My dad used to tell me about Bruce Lee, and he used to go watch Bruce Lee in the movies and then come home kicking his friends. Yeah.
He has an effect as Bruce, though, doesn't he? He's a nice guy, isn't he?
He does, yeah.
You know what? I've been two or three, haven't we, who have been on an inspiration by Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Matt Seawright comes to mind. I think Matt Seawright's hero, to be quite honest, from Bruce Lee. Well, I know, like I mentioned, my next door one neighbours are both from Iran.
Yeah.
And I know, Sudhi they call it, I know her brother, a professional boxer from Iran.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she never told me his name because he was a bit... I don't think it was very... In a family, they didn't want him to do it, and it don't get mentioned very much. But he was a pro boxer, and she tells me, and his little lad comes out now and boxes in garden on trampoline with our George on a regular basis, and our George loses every time.
Yeah.
So it might be something in the genes there, mate.
Yeah.
When did you start going to gyms and getting into your boxing then?
Oh, well, I was quite lazy until I was like about 10, 11 years old. I had a big growth spurt at 11 years old. I was a small kid, so I had that growth spurt. And then I was like, you know what? People aren't like messing around with me anymore. I'm strong, big and strong. Yeah. Until I actually came across some like fighting. It's always the case, isn't it? Like how kids start boxing. So I got into fighting school, then so. Mum told me to go to boxing, or friend told me, oh yeah, why don't you come to boxing with me? That's pretty much how it happened. One of my mates were boxing, and then went, oh yeah, what days are you training? What times? And Monday to Thursday, 6 while 8, come down. Well, actually, went down once when I think I was 12 years old. That was before the fight. This little scrap that I had, this kid, get into that in a minute. Fucking, my mate wasn't there. He told me we were going to come, but he didn't come. And did this brutal bloody circuit. It was awful. Legs burning and everything. And then I was like, I'm not. This ain't for me. Rather go back to my video game.
Yeah.
And then went down properly, like about probably a year later.
So you missed it for a year then, and you went back.
Missed it for a year, yeah.
So you must have obviously something must have caught you if you want to go back there, mate.
Yeah, because I started MMA. I got really into MMA because as I said, I was into Bruce Lee, more into like martial arts and stuff. Got into MMA, sparring this little chubby kid who did taekwondo. He beat the absolute living fuck out of me, and then I was like, you know what, I need to improve my stand up a bit.
Yet again, we've had a few people with MMA have gone in out there, and they've had an hiding.
Yeah.
Including Jason Ball, who was tough as nuts.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need that kick up the backside, don't you? Like you said, to go on, mate. Yeah. So he gives you a beating, did he?
He gives me a beating, yeah. Hit me with one of them spinning wheel kicks. Gave me a black eye, and then went home, and then my mum was having a go at me. Oh, why have you come back? Looking at this, you look like a bloody ogre or something. It's like, hey, Mum. It's just what happens. Like,
so is this you're in Wakefield?
Yeah, it's in Wakefield. Yeah.
Right. What's the gym called then that you went to?
It weren't a gym. It was a leisure centre.
Right.
I think they still do it too. The classes every Monday. I think 8 o'clock or something. Guy runs it. It's called Scott. I forgot his second name. It is quite nice.
He'll know who he is.
Yeah, he's like a 9th Dan black belt in Taekwondo, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then after getting my ass whooped, went down to my mate's boxing gym and then did it for a couple of months, and then they were like, "Oh, do you want to start fighting? Do you want to have a fight?" I went, "Yeah." And went, "All right, you're going to be training, aspiring and everything." Probably did it for about 6 months. Gave up on MMA after about a year. Never went back. I didn't even end up fighting the first time I was scheduled, but I prefer this because like I can do more in this. Like going out running every morning, like that's making me better. So,
but you're obviously fit, still fit now, mate. So what you're studying at college and stuff, obviously, you must be a fit kid, mate, and what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, when you got into boxing, then did you have any amateur fights?
Yeah, I had 9 amateur fights. Won 4, lost 5, I think. So
That's not a bad
change
record.
it.
That's not a bad record, mate.
Yeah, I've lost my amateur guys. Not quite sure how it is, what it looks like, but
I don't think you need that anymore, mate, do you?
no, I don't need it anymore. But yeah.
So, have you always been at the same gym then, since you turned boxing?
No, I started off with White Rose, Andy Town, who's been on the show as well.
Yeah.
I think.
That Andy Town.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
he were White Rose.
What,
before
I
he
didn't
went
know
pro,
that.
Yeah. He started off at White Rose with John Hall, may rest in peace, he's passed away now a couple of years ago.
God bless him.
Yeah. Great coaches down there.
So when you finished there, then where'd you move on to then?
It's called Guts Over Fear. It's a Muay Thai gym, but it's not about the gym really, is it? It's about who's actually teaching you.
Yeah.
With my coach Abid now, he's been about the game.
He was a away fighter himself, wasn't he?
Yeah, he were, because he came over here.
So when's he coming down then for an interview?
It's not much of a talk. He likes shouting at me, and that's about it.
Should have gone down with you. We could have a double up. That could have been a first.
No thanks. Thought this was meant to be like an easy session.
Yeah, it's always easy with us, mate. That's not too worry with us. Nothing at all, mate.
Taking piss. He's lovely, really.
Yeah,
lovely.
you seem like, listen, I know you think a lot about him, mate, so it's good to give him a shout out. So, like you said, when you had your 9 amateur fights, who approached you to say, right, would you like to go pro? Did they say you want to go on road, or did they tell you what to do? Or?
Really, it was a place I was working at.
Yeah.
It was this pizza takeaway. It was after lockdown had happened. Our delivery driver, this new guy came along, went, "Oh yeah, I'm training. Are you into boxing? I'm into boxing. I'm training with this Josh Warrington's trainer." He's like bigging him up.
Yeah.
Like saying, "Oh yeah," he thinks, I don't know. Well, I think really. Thinking like,
the big I am.
Yeah. And then
a bit of confidence in him, bless him, had he?
Yeah. But like, until I actually went down, they were like, "Oh shit, this guy actually knows what he's on about." This guy Abid. Yeah, and then left my gym, not in the best way, to be fair. But I just didn't know what to tell people, because they were like, I'm officially leaving the gym. Because they were like, went through like a rough patch where I weren't getting any sparring for like a good year in my gym, and then went about like sparring at different gyms, and then eventually like I stayed at Wakefield Trinity for a couple of months, came back, it was a whole thing, and then they weren't too happy with me, like coming and going, you know.
Sometimes you just need to find somewhere to settle, don't you? And
That's it.
Things are going to be right for you when it's not against. I mean, what's good for one person in the gym is not the best for another, is it? I mean, that's why it is, and you've got to find that connection, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's vital. So, what's it like in Josh Warrington's gym then, mate?
Josh Warrington's gym, I just go down there for sparring sometimes. I don't like permanently train there.
You go down a few times, haven't you? Been down?
Yeah, I've been down, I'd say about maybe half a dozen times, something like that. Yeah, it's good. Ceiling's low, which is a bit bad for me.
Quite tall.
Yeah, quite tall, yeah. We had a lad called Ike. He's about 6'5", taller than me. I'm 6'2". He went down, he was sparring with Jacob. And I was like, how the fuck did he spar you? How the fuck did you spar you? You're bloody heavyweight. And then, yeah. But yeah, it's good. It's good. We get
fancy his chances against Katchia then, or?
Oh, I wish the best for him, man. I wish the best for him. And you never know. He's younger. He's younger and he's had the experience, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can't really underestimate Kakachi, though, because he's just powerful.
No, it's like we mentioned earlier, I mean, including Ben Wager, they said he's the hardest puncher they've ever felt, Katchia.
Yeah.
And he's quick. But hopefully Josh will have taken on board from his last fight with Lee Wood.
Yeah.
He were unlucky.
That's it.
And if he can keep out of Katchia's way, he's got every chance pulling up that upset, mate. He really has.
Yeah.
So, where did you get your call for your first fight then? How did it come about, your first pro fight?
Oh, my first pro fight?
Yeah, how did it come up?
I'll tell you this, yeah, it's a good story. I was scheduled to go on for a home fight.
Right.
I was never meant to be a away fighter, right? Because I came down to my trainer, he asked me, oh, can you sell tickets? I went, oh, yeah, I'll be able to sell tickets. Not knowing a thing about how hard it is to sell tickets. And then comes to it, it's all about, I don't know, 20, 25 maybe. And then say, oh, you need like 60 tickets minimum just to be able to fight, like, not even like to make any money, really. Oh, shit. I'm not gonna.
You don't realise, do you, until you get in there,
I thought,
you have
like,
to sell.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was it. Like, I wasn't ever going to be able to fight. But then my trainer went, oh, it's all right. We're learning. Why do you just go on the road? Like, away fights. You don't have to lose necessarily, but just go away and, like, do as well as you can.
Well, every fight I've seen your fights on YouTube and stuff, mate, and they always say that you come to win. And you like to come to get a go, don't you?
That's it, yeah.
And your way to do that, mate, you've got to be brave, mate.
Yeah.
So, we went into the first fight, and now you said he'd come along then. So
yeah. Gave me the option to fight two people. I think it were around mid-September, maybe. And we were like, oh, yeah. So next month, there's 2 dates. 6th of October in Liverpool, Merseyside, or 22nd in Lightwaves. When either I could fight away somewhere that I've never been, you know, in a away crowd, or I could fight home, obviously. Chose to fight at home. And guy who I'm fighting called Connor Lawrence. He's not a bad kid. He's good. Just a bit of a knobhead. That's all.
What are you?
Just a bit of a knobhead. I saw him the other day, you know.
Mate, we get him. In what way? Were it arrogance, or were he cocky because he was good?
No, he is. Like, I'm not saying he's a terrible fighter. He's good, but like, I'm better. That's all, that. It's just that simple. Only reason he got the decision as well because he's his own fighter. He doesn't realise it.
Do you think you won that night then? Do you think you should have deserved something?
Yeah. And thing is, right, he went on an interview. He didn't even say like, oh yeah, it was my opponent today. It was better than I thought it'd be. Like, he went, oh, don't know how the judges give him, it was 39-38 to him.
If you're getting it 39-38, mate, you'll know you've pushed him close, mate. That says a lot, does that?
Yeah.
I mean, when you get to 39-38, you know there's a chance that you've won that.
Yeah. But there were quite a few upsets that day, you know.
Was there?
Yeah, there were Jordan Grandham, who won against Nathan Shepherd.
Right. Jordan
Grandham, we weren't even trying to... I was talking to him beforehand, like I was asking him, because he's been about, I was asking him, oh yeah, what advice would you give me? And he said, no, just keep tight, you know, don't be a knobhead, basically.
Great guy, is Jordan. I've never met him.
He is.
I've never met him.
He's high up on my list of my wish list.
Yeah, I've never met him, but I've heard he's a great kid.
Yeah.
And you know what? He'll give you some good advice, he will.
Yeah.
And I've heard he's absolutely a deep, he's one of the most him and Fons Alexander get mentioned as very, very underrated. And if they wanted to, they could go out and win.
Yeah.
So any advice you got on from Jordan, it'll be good advice.
Yeah.
From what I hear, he's a great man. And like I said, I know he's high up on Scarfe's list. And he has messaged Dante saying he wants to come on, doesn't he?
He's been really nice to me on messaging on Instagram.
He's down in London though, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I'm down in London in October.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll not interview him, but I will bob down and have a chat with him if he's around and he's not fighting that weekend. If I'm going down the Monday, so he won't be fighting. Yeah. And I think he does it full time, Joe. I don't think he works besides.
No, he doesn't.
So he may be around. So, you know me.
Where are you going to London for?
Well, I want to go to Paul and Shark Shop. I've never been before, have I? I'm famous.
Is that it?
Well, no, I'll get to go to Paul and Shark Shop for 2 minutes and our lass and George will just take off at rest at 3 days. So I'm sure I can fit a coffee in with Jordan and maybe Dan Naylor as well. Was a great guy. You might not know Dan, he's been retired for a few years.
Really?
But so you thought you should have got something from that fight, mate?
Well, yeah.
I can tell it narks you a little bit.
What, sorry?
I can tell it upsets you a little bit.
It does. It's not the fact that I didn't get the decision. I don't give a fuck about the decision. Like, nothing means out on the record. I know what happened really. But it's the fact that he went on to say what he said, and then other day, I was there for one of my mates' fights, supporting one of my teammates, and then he was there watching my coach do pad work. I know they all. I don't want to say too much.
No, don't have to say too much, mate.
You can tell you're frustrated, mate.
Frustrated, mate. I think what you're trying to say is that interview has gone out and he didn't give you the credit that you deserved.
I did give him credit. It's the fact that I think he's got me blocked on social media, which makes me laugh. It's like, why? And then, I went to him. I said, when are we next fighting then? He goes to me, we can go outside with 4 or 5 of his lads from Bradford. He goes, we can go fight outside if you want. No, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I just laugh at him, just look at him and just laugh. And then he goes on to tell his coach, and his coach is pissed. Comes to boxing fight, pissed, and then he's meant to be working as well. Fucking
nah, that's not professional, mate. Is he?
It's not.
It's not good. But I think deep down, mate, that you should have had something that night, mate, and you can you can go from that. So a very, very exciting debut, really, that one, mate.
And so that's your first fight. What's your initial thoughts afterwards? When dust settled, and are you thinking, right, I'm going to go for it again, or any other plans?
Yeah, I was on top of the world at the time.
Yeah,
because they were like, I can just go in and do what I want, and this is easy.
And it's like you said. I mean, you've got in there with your 6-0 kid.
Yeah.
Right. You've more than matched him. You think you've got the win. It's no wonder you feel on top at world, mate. I bet you feel like thinking, I can. If I could, but again, it's that selling the tickets, isn't it?
Yeah. It's alright, man.
But like you just said, I always like to hear when you say, I don't give a fuck about the result.
I don't.
Right, because that's what you need to have tough skin on the road. And you know what's going to happen. And like we mentioned earlier, a 39-38 says a lot about you, mate, to be honest. Yeah. So obviously, I'm very, very proud. So you've got away from that fight then, mate. You made that decision then, right, that's it, I'm going on the road. I ain't selling tickets.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to go.
Yeah.
Right, that's good to know then, mate. So you went on your second fight, didn't you, mate?
Second fight, yeah. We were about
because like I said, you haven't been fronting easy, have you?
No. A month later, my coach goes, got a call today. Never guess what? Go what? Mick Claymonth.
Yeah.
He wants to fight you. I'm like, who the hell's Mick Claymonth? I'd not heard of him, like, because, he's bloody cruiserweight. I'm like, really? Like,
what weight are you at this time?
What?
What weight were you at this time?
Light heavy.
Light heavy. Right.
I've pretty much gone down about 172. I could go fight a super middle now, but
I would have never put you at cruiser though.
Bloody hell, no.
It's your tallness here though, man.
Yeah, but
and you're built.
The difference between light heavy and cruiser is 10 kilos, 25 pounds. It's not like,
Not a jump up a couple of pounds here and there, is it, mate?
Mick, fair play to him. he's got a good team around him. You can sell tickets. Why not do it? I suppose I understand it from his side. But fight was like a month later after, I think it was 25th of November. They went, oh yeah, fight's a light heavy, 12 stone 5 or something. Yeah. And then weigh-in's on, well, we assumed the weigh-in was on the day.
On the day,
it was a small show. It wasn't like one of the massive shows. No title fights are out. But it was Wednesday. I was sitting on the sofa, I remember it precisely. Sitting on the sofa, eating my cheese toastie. And then my coach calls me up. He goes, "You're weighing on Thursday, weighing in tomorrow."
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? So I dropped my cheese toastie. Put it down. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not eating anymore today. Yeah.
But at the time when you got that fight, you were 12-0, you know.
You were 12-0, yeah.
Oh, we're going to ask
against,
wow.
Bloody hell.
You know what I mean? Your second fight. So
12 4-rounders.
Yeah.
12 4-rounders that's the thing, like, you can do a lot without doing a lot.
Yeah.
Like 12-0 sounds like a great deal, but it's like, who have you fought? Like, and he stopped boxing as well. Fair play to him. Like, he's having some health issues. Best for him.
Yeah, we do, mate.
Yeah.
It's not nice to see.
It's not.
So why did the fight go then, mate? Obviously you lost, didn't you?
Well, yeah.
He took you out, didn't he?
Yeah, he took me out. Bloody hell, I did not expect. It's like, I thought, oh yeah, I've been around. I've got a bit more experience than him, like with amateur. But it's a complete different ball game with amateurs and pros. Like, in fucking 10-ounce gloves, it's no, you know.
Before you carry on, did you suit the amateur better or did you suit the pro better?
Well, I suited the amateur when I was amateur, and I'm suiting the pros.
He didn't answer my question, he's a bully. He didn't answer my question.
He can do both.
He can do both.
I can do both, yeah.
Yeah, we'll let him off.
I can, yeah.
So going back then, obviously, going back to 10-ounce gloves and that, mate.
Yeah, it was just bigger. I thought, I can, like, you know, just outbox him.
Well, you must be on top of the world after your first fight.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what it was. And then it was like, his punches weren't even like hitting me properly. It was like his forearms, but they were like trying to kind of put me off balance. Yeah. I was like, fuck it, hell. I've got to be careful here. Finished the first round, landed a couple of good punches. Second round comes, doing all right, and then just got a bit too cocky for like a split second against someone who's like 10 kilos heavier than you. You can't make no fucking mistakes. He caught me with a left hand. I think it was left hand, right hook, left hand, and I was asleep for about a minute and a half. Yeah, wow. Paramedics came in, put gas mask on me, did a good job getting me back, and then I'm standing up like in the ring, like as I'm regaining consciousness, like, what's happening? Are we fighting?
It's crazy how everyone says that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like we've had people on and they've said they've been knocked spark out, and they've got back up, had the gas in air, like you say, because they do a great job at paramedics and stuff when they're straight in. And we've had them before, come on lads, and they've said they've got back on the stool, they've got them back to the dressing room, and they've sat down, and they've turned around and says, "When am I on?"
Yeah, that's it.
When am I on?
That's literally what happened.
Yeah.
Went back to the changing room, little changing room that I froze. Go, oh yeah, what's happening? Guys in my corner goes, "You've been knocked out." Been knocked straight out. Went into the corner, and then I did not believe him at all. I did not believe a word he said. Sat on the sofa, and I was just like confused and like frustrated. I'm like, "What do you mean?" And Mick comes in, he goes, "Oh yeah, thank you, this and that."
Heavy knockdown then, mate.
When did your memory start to come back then of the fight, and actually remember what had happened?
When I started like watching back tapes of it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a bit scary.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know.
It's boxing, like, isn't it? And like you said, the higher you go up, the harder they hit.
Yeah.
And
I should have never, like, looking back in hindsight, I should have never been in with him. It's like, I have no business, like, being against a guy who's 10 kilos heavier than me.
It's a heck of a lot, mate.
Did the day before weigh-in. We had him weigh-in same day as well, 12 p.m, noon. And we were like, oh yeah, this is all right. Because we were only fighting it like 5-6 hours later. They didn't let us know about fight time, like when the fights were signed. First fight was, I think, 11:30. We got in at about 12:30.
Yeah.
It's like, you had time to rehydrate it then.
Yeah.
You know.
But like I said, it's not a learning curve you want to experience, but
No.
I suppose after that and you've gone through all that, it does make you feel a bit more. You can't, as you know, you can't shut off for a second because some kind of punch has got your name on it, mate, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And respect you for getting back up, but it didn't put you off then, mate, did it?
No, it didn't.
Because you were out, when we were out last for your third and final fight up to minute, we're about 2 months ago. I watched it.
Yeah.
In June, wasn't it? I watched it in June, yeah. Because you were doing quite well in that, you know, and the commentator knew. I can't remember who the commentator was, but he had a lot of praise for you, mate.
Yeah,
and he
Steve
says,
Woods
this guy comes to fight, and, you know, and you were doing all right. And what are you, a good kid then?
Yeah, you were a really good kid. Really experienced amateur kid.
Alex Patterson.
Alex Patterson, yeah. And with them body shots he got me with, bloody hell. And a guy afterwards said to me as well, no one hits like a Scouser. No one hits to the body like a Scouser. Yeah, I fucking believe you.
You struck to a few though, mate. That
yeah,
night.
I know. Yeah.
And you were doing all right.
Yeah.
I watched it because like I said, you were after that I contacted you, wasn't it? And we had a talk on phone about it. And you said it was just them body shots, weren't you?
Yeah.
But, so we've only had 3 fights so far.
Yeah.
But you're not going nowhere, are you?
No.
Like I said this to everybody who comes on the show. I mean, if I don't, Scarfe will say it. Have you got any goals going forward? Have you got any plans to go, would you like to carry on for the, you know, say till you're 25, 30, or do you just want to see how it goes? Are you just not making... We have people who say, I want to do this, I've got this plan, I want in 5 years' time, I want this many fights, I want to have done this. And we got other guys who'll say, you know what, I just take it week in, week out and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Where would you put yourself in that, mate?
For me, boxing is more of a passion. It's not...
Yeah.
If I wanting to, make money, like some people do it as a job, mate, fair enough to them. Make decent money as well. But for me, it's a passion. Like, I'm doing this because I love it. And if I'm not doing it like how other people are doing it, fair enough. You know, they have a great amateur record, not a superstar. And I understand that some people have a problem understanding that, you know, just keep my feet on the ground, take it a day at a time, and when it stops suiting me, I'll turn my back on it.
There's no right or wrong way why you do the sport, right? You've got to have passion for it, mate, which you have got.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, I spoke to you a few times, it's good you've got your feet on the ground, you know, and I'm looking forward to see you go in the future, mate. And
have we not got anything lined up at the minute as we speak?
No.
Okay.
No, as we speak.
You're expecting to be out October time, aren't you? October, November, if possible. I mean,
hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, your license doesn't run out while next May, does it? So
no, yeah.
You've got plenty of time to get in shape. And
yeah. I've been training. I'm kind of in shape. It's not. Just need to turn it up right before I fight. Yeah, that's all it is.
That's no problem for you, mate, is it? So, like you said, you're keeping your feet on your ground. With 3 fights in, I think we're going to see a lot of you, mate, with some big boys as well.
Yeah.
Going forward. And I know there's no fear in you either, mate.
No.
So
we'll be keeping an eye on you.
We will be keeping an eye on you, mate.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Are you on Instagram?
On Instagram, yeah.
Oh, good. I'll follow you if we aren't already. Are we already?
What's the Instagram?
What's your Instagram?
My Instagram, Kasra, so Kasra, __, 3 underlines.
I'll check it after this.
ZZ.
Chances are I already follow you, but I can't. I just there's that many now. It all blends into one.
Well, I'd just like to say, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Thank you for taking time out to come and speak to us.
No worries.
And told you we'd get your first back on, mate, and I haven't broken my word ever.
No, yeah.
So all the best, mate, going forward. Look forward to keep watching your career.
We'll get you back again in future, hopefully.
100%.
Catch up.
100%, mate. We've got to, haven't we? All the best, mate. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
The Journeyman Cave is produced by James Proud. Music by Ryan Carrier. Special thanks to Rhythm Inc. Studios for hosting. All views expressed are of the guests only. The Journeyman Cave and host bear no responsibility for any opinions given. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter @The Journeyman Cave.